Jets will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. Swift. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now we'll give him to Taylor. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
That's what I'm talking about.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Let's go. Let's do this.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run with Taylor. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A throw over the middle, taken in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. There, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Taylor. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brought you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Darnold from the gun. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him. 2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. On first down, it's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no? I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Darnold now to throw. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Bell. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On second down now, it's Taylor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I'm here all day.
On third down, Love. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, wide open, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it with Bell. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. The gain of 39 that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Sponge, sponge. Hey, ready? Hey, now look at that. Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh? Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. X3, 218, chop it.
Now Bell. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter shift your defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
It's now 3rd and goal.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Check 49. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this one is right through. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington, and the Redskins there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. On first down, Taylor. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 40. First down, Steelers.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12. At the Jets' 30-yard line.
To throw on second down. Love. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Quentin Williams, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Operating from the gun. Love. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. On first down, Taylor. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10. From the gun, Love. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This is fielded at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Taylor, and he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd? That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Jets take over first and 10. Let's go! At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And it's 3rd down.
Set. Number 1. We got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Silver.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love flushed out right. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And Boswell's kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Belt, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Here goes that. Tighten up. Pull it together.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They go play action here on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. He was looking for a Nunwa there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Quentin Williams make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here's Jordan Berry now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. And the Redskins have scored again to extend their advantage. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Got a man, it's Berrios complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Here we go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 48-yard line.
Ready? 3 is the mic. Right. 53 is the mic. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Set.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.